Welcome back to the program. Joining me now is Shane Broadway. He is the president of the Central Arkansas Political Animals Club, among many other titles I could give to you, but that's the one hat you're going to wear today. Good to see you.
I'll put on the hat. Great to see you too.
Yeah, Election Day about 2 weeks away.
Hard to believe.
We're kind of hitting the boiling point here. We've seen little snippy, chippy shots all over the place, as well as the big radio ad controversy that we talked about in the earlier segment there. There comes a point in a campaign cycle where it's just time to go vote.
There is.
We're there,
and we're at that point. And I think having been a candidate and a not candidate on a ballot, we're at that point.
All right, let's talk about the Supreme Court and some of the decisions that have been made the last 2 weeks in no particular order here, but let's go with casinos first. Issue 4. The Supreme Court has let this one stay on the ballot, so voters will be voting on this. Pass or fail? What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to be really close. What do they say, within the margin of error, I think. Really close. I actually think because of some recent history with lottery and some other things, that it has a chance to pass. You don't see the opposition. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, the old bumper stickers, no casinos, that they'd pass out all over. You don't see that as much anymore. And so I think because of the games of skill you have at Southland and Oaklawn, there's less and less maybe in terms of, you haven't seen what people always thought casinos might bring.
Not there.
So I don't think the resistance is there. So, but I still think if it does pass, it'll be close.
And this Driving Arkansas Forward coalition has got the support of the Cherokee and the Quapaw nations in their support there too.
And have done a really good
groups that would have opposed.
Right, and have done a really good job of trying to make it into a positive for the state.
So minimum wage, there's a little bit of an ad campaign that just started on that, but this would raise the minimum wage. This one stays on the ballot too, according to the Supreme Court, raised it to $11 an hour by the year 2021.
I think by all indications that will pass.
Yeah, our polling indicates that is the case. What was your first minimum wage job, you remember?
Arkansas Geological Commission. I was a rock dotter.
You remember
the box of rocks? If you went and took a tour of the Capitol when you were a kid, they used to give out a box of rocks.
Yes.
And it was a box of all the rocks that are found native to Arkansas. And so you had to put a dot on the rock to correspond to the dot on the box. So I was in high school. Great job.
Rock.
Yeah, rock
is that on your resume?
It's on my resume. You bet, man.
I'm $3.35 an hour at Wendy's back in high school. I was an excellent fry cook.
Did you work the drive-through?
Oh,
you didn't work the drive-through.
No, they wouldn't let me up there by the window. All right, biggest news of the week may have been that tort reform was kicked off, issue number 1. This was going to be, I think, really the most contentious battle that we were going to see out there. Do you think the tort reform advocates come back?
Oh, certainly. And it was going to be the most contentious. We had a Political Animals Club meeting of both sides, and it could have gone on for 5 hours between both sides if I'd let it go. And the crowd stayed. It was interesting to see the debate going back and forth. And it was really good exchanges. I think they'll be back. And actually, I was thinking today that it actually, for the opponents of tort reform, because I think your polling, showed that the likelihood
it was upside down. It was going to lose.
I think it was going to lose, and I think in their case, it might have been better had it lost and it goes away. So now I think because there's not an election on it, that I think the tort reform proponents will be back. Now, what the General Assembly does, do they put another one back out? Does it continue to get challenged? Where do we go from there? I mean, we're in that cycle with all of these ballot initiatives or issue 1 through whatever number we're in, where you're always going to face legal challenges.
Yes.
If it's if it's on the petition itself, or if it's on the language of it, and I think you're just always going to be in that cycle, and it's somewhat, using a gambling term, a crapshoot.
Yeah. Term limits also kicked off on Friday by the Arkansas Supreme Court. This was going to be pretty draconian in terms of its impact on Arkansas, but there was certainly a ton of support out there for it. It was pushing 70% in terms of voter approval. Do you think term limits comes back again? Do they try to go through the cycle again of raising the signatures and doing this again? I know it's a little too early to tell.
It is early to speculate on that, and I wouldn't doubt that they don't come back. I think it's where they're at right now in terms of 16 years, where you can do 16 total, I think is a good number if you're going to have term limits. Now, keep in mind, we're still one of the few states in the union that have term limits. And so, I was a beneficiary of term limits in a way, but I also see the downside of it. And so my hope is it kind of maybe stays where they're at right now, because you do need In the averages, even before term limits, we're about the 10 to 15 year range of how long people stayed. So, but will they come back? Probably.
It probably will. I think it never goes away. No. So, and it's a populist issue. Arkansas is a populist state. This one resonates a lot with a lot of people. Voter ID will be on there. It was the only one that didn't face a legal challenge in terms of the constitutional amendment. We see 71% approval on that last time we polled it. I think it says too. So, Election Day, you and I have concocted a little something fun for everybody. I'll let you spill the beans on
Okay. Well, and I also need to mention this coming Wednesday, we're going to have all the Little Rock mayor candidates at Political Animals at Next Level events, and so we hope people will come out and enjoy and meet all of the candidates and hear their take. But
those mayoral candidates have not had any forums
they've
so
not
far.
been together
I think they've had almost 50 of them in total.
But this will be a unique, Political Animals Club is a unique group, to say the least. But we were kind of thinking about what can we do Election Day kind of different, with the Political Animals Club. And so at Red and Blue on 7th and Wood Lane.
Yeah, it's an events venue owned by my wife.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And from 6 to 10-ish, we're going to have a little kind of a breakfast, get out the vote kind of breakfast. And what we wanted to do was allow our members to come out and see the candidates, but also, the candidates the morning of make a lot of media stops. And so what our hope is to have one place where all the media comes out, TV, radio stations, anybody else that covers print that comes out, and have one place where the candidates can come to, get a little bit of breakfast. We've all been through those election days. Those are long days.
And we'll have some coffee and donuts.
Get them some coffee and donuts, kind of get them started. But have a chance for them to say a few words to the Political Animals Club, also conduct interviews with all of the members of the media, and do it kind of a one-stop shop.
Yeah, all right. That we'll have more on that on our website at talkbusiness.net. We'll be promoting that. He is Shane Broadway, the president of the Political Animals Club. Good to see you as always.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for being here. When we come back, we still have poll numbers on the 2nd Congressional District. Where does that race stand today? Plus, Wes Brown on business right after this.